Is 100 years old. If you'll notice on the second floor in the stairway, it'll show that it was erected in this building in 1919. So we're almost following week by week and month by month process of what we did here 100 years ago today. So we're very excited about this. And before we get started, I'd like to call Justice Neil Burge. Neil, where are you? If you'll come and give us an opening prayer and blessing for this building.
Let's pray, please. Heavenly Father, we come thanking you for this day, Father, the blessings of this life that you've given us each and every day. Help us always be mindful that these blessings come from you, Father. We especially pray, Heavenly Father, for this opportunity that you've given us to assemble today, for what it means for our county. We pray, Heavenly Father, as we move forward, that you will bless our efforts. Help us to always be mindful, Father, that we should carry on the business of the county and represent those that have elected us in a way that will be honorable to you. Again, Father, we thank you. We pray that you will forgive us when we fail you. For we ask in Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, Justice Burge. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming out this afternoon to witness this first phase of renovating our historic courthouse here in the Chickasawba District of Mississippi County. We would not be here today without the vision, the hard work, and the resilience of those who recognize the importance of preserving our great county's history. And, you know, when we were going through this process, and we've been here a long time, it was never in my mind to abandon this old building, because I think that speaks a lot about the people we are. And considering 72% past it, I think we're all on the same page here. When we do things like walk away from historic buildings, it sends a message to our children and those that are around us that conveys a message that you can just throw something away just because it's old. And we don't want to do that. I think it sends the wrong message. I want to thank all those people who had an enormous hand in making things, making today possible. Certainly the Mississippi County Quorum Court has worked on this project. The Blytheville Mayor, is Blytheville Mayor here? Right. Mayor, thank you, and the City Council of Blytheville has done so much. The hospital board, the civic clubs, the circuit judges, and I'll be honest, I haven't, we've been working all morning and I didn't get a chance much to go over this. Is there someone else that, I mean, there were so many different groups that worked on this project that made it possible that we'll make sure we want to thank each and every one of them. On February 12, 2019, Mississippi County voters approved a referendum that extends a half-cent sales or hospital tax, with a portion of those funds going towards $18 million worth of county courthouse renovations. The referendum passed with a 72% approval rating and assures our county hospitals will remain open and we can continue the usage of our newly renovated and expanded buildings. I believe restoration is more efficient than tearing down 100 years of history. 100 years ago, our ancestors put their blood, sweat, and tears into this Georgian-style building. What would Blytheville look like, or what would Osceola look like, if we tore down all the buildings, old buildings in our communities that our ancestors held in such high regard? If we got rid of everything, we would have nothing. Preserving our courthouses promotes respect in our youth growing up here, and it's a step toward revitalizing downtown Blytheville and downtown Osceola. Even though our courthouse suffers from a laundry list of issues that have piled up over a century, we can address these issues through the renovation and reconstruction. We've talked extensively about Mississippi County being a community on the rise, and it is. Economically, socially, politically, commercially, it's all together to make this special county even more impressive and growing power center. And that's what we're kicking off today. Thanks again to everybody that's worked so hard on this. 100 years ago, things were so different. During our research of this project over a year ago, we were uncovering facts like when they were building this building, Highway 61 was a dirt road. All these streets out here was a dirt road. Just across the railroad track where the former Liquor Ford building was the Mahan Gin Company, which was R.D. Hughes' father-in-law, way before he was his father-in-law. There was a garage over here. Of course, there was a jail here. The building that was here prior to this one burnt, and then it was quite a bit smaller than what we have now. And when we get through, then we'll double the size of this. And while I'm thinking about that, Aaron Ruby, where are you, Aaron? Aaron is our architect. He's been in the trenches for how long?
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years, and gone through many transformations. And what we've done is we put up on the wall over here and on the back side here, there's some drawings up here that I encourage you to come and look at. There's several drawings on the tables on both sides. I think this is one of the most impressive ones right here, this one, and there's one on that back. There's one behind David Landini and Mary Robertson. There's one back here at the very back that's going to show a very interesting rendering of what this building should look like. We're working, possibly we'll be working with Green, what is their name? Evergreen, to do some artwork in the ceiling here, up above or inside of these, what are these called?
Coffers.
Coffers, we'll call them coffers, and we are right now looking for a chandelier that would be period correct, that's going to hang down and illuminate this room. Right outside of this window behind Justice Burge is going to be the doorway into really the holding cells, and beyond that will be the new courtroom.
That's right.
And that courtroom, the ceiling there is going to be a barrel shape.
Correct.
So it will be, it's going to be a work of art when we get through here. It's, Aaron and I had regular conversations over that. So that's all I know is just, when we get through here, feel free to go through these drawings. There's a complete set of the drawings. On these other tables, there's partial sets. There's the set of the landscaping. Aaron has assured me that there is no landscaping like this project in the state of Arkansas. So this is kind of our flagship, and we're very proud of that. Well, without further ado, if I could ask the Blytheville Mayor to come up and say a few words and about this building and our project. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, good afternoon. And it is a pleasure and both an honor to be here. I know, again, this is the Mississippi County Courthouse. And it's inside of Blytheville, in the city of Blytheville. So right now, I'd just like to stop for just a minute and give thanks to the Mississippi County Court members for their vision, for their ideas, their work that they actually put into passing the vote for this courthouse, and not just here, but also in Osceola. To our own county judge, Judge Nelson, thank you. Of course, I see that he's always out running, and I really just enjoy the historic ideas that he researches to understand more and more about both the landscaping and the historic value of this courthouse, as well as the Mississippi County voters who voted for this building to be here, and also saw the vision. It's all about everybody grabbing a hold of a vision and seeing the new ideas and new concepts, not just in the past, but also bringing a part of the past into the future. Folks, this is a $14 million facelift, a $14 million investment into our community to make our community better. Because of you, we're building on our historic value of this courthouse while keeping traditions and creating new to additions. So we believe that this will improve the functionality of the courthouse for Mississippi County here in the Blytheville area, for both our visitors and for our residents that will use this building. And we'll also add a certain added aesthetic to the downtown areas here in Blytheville. So again, I just want to stop for a moment and thank all of you for what you've done to make this possible. Thank you for the interest and what you have for our community, from the mayor of the city of Blytheville and for all of the councilmen who work here in the city of Blytheville. We again just want to say thank you, and thank you, justices.
Thank you, Mayor. And you know, I tell a couple of little tidbits about going through here, the things that we didn't know until we really got involved in it and started looking around. I think we've taken advantage, but there's a medallion right over here behind the Sheriff Cook that's made into the woodwork. It's the only one left in here now, and I'm sure at one point they were probably all over this room. That back part right there, the two libraries on both sides, that's not original, that came later. And while I was in here looking, I had never noticed, and I've been here dozens and dozens of times, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 windows over here, and there's 1, 2, 3, there's 5 over there, which really confused me, because I like symmetrical things, and everything's not symmetrical. I don't know why they did that. Also, when you leave here, if you look down on the first floor, coming in the west door, you'll see the boiler room, and the boiler room is about 2.5 or 3 foot below grade with the rest of the hallways and the offices there. And then if you'll go down to the former collector's office, which will be the first office, be the middle office right there. You go in there, you can turn left, and there's another office inside of that office. And if you'll notice when you go in there that the floor is above grade, it's made out of wood. And many times I've been there, I never thought about it, so I would go back out and I'd go back to the boiler room. And I'd come back over here. Obviously, the floor was increased, and I was trying to figure it out. Well, there's a doorway, if you'll look in the boiler room, that's still framed up. And so you could go into the next room, and it was on the same subgrade level. Then I noticed that the windows were different. They were slightly different from the rest of the windows in the whole building, so I'm assuming there was a coal chute there, and they separated the coal from the fire and what they were going to stockpile. So there's a whole lot of those interesting things about this building, and while we're here, I encourage you to look around it, and it's going to look quite a bit different when we get the ceilings and all taken out, but it's going to be a very exciting time. I would like to ask Michael White, Justice White, to say a few words. Justice White has been on this project since the very, very, very first day when this was being explored. Do you want to tell how many years ago that was?
Longer than you not want to admit. If I'd known there was going to be this many people here, I would have memorized just 3 minutes, y'all. But 2 or 3 minutes is all I've got. I did want to take just a second and thank everybody that has been involved in this project from the get-go, from day one, and it's been a lot of people. We talk about the county government and the quorum court putting this project together, but we were the leaders, the point people, but it took the communities to put this together. And I just want to take just 2 minutes and kind of recognize the people that were involved. Over my years as Justice of the Peace, I've been involved in several different projects with the county. The redoing of the Osceola Dome several years ago when it was first refurbished, the building of the new county jail, well, it was new then, but it replaced the county jail that dated back into the 1940s. But this project, I think, is the most significant project that we've seen, or that will have been seen in Mississippi County in the last 100 years. We're looking, and when we started this project, we wanted something that would look towards the next 100 years. Something that would outlive and outlast all of us standing in here today. Something for the future that Mississippi County could be proud of. Just to recognize some of the people, and I hope I don't leave anybody out, but there were at least 4 county judges involved in this, at least 15 different justices of the peace over the last 15 years. 4 mayors, 2 from Blytheville, 2 from Osceola, their respective city councils, both from Blytheville and Osceola, the county hospital board. We had 2 different groups of citizens that formed citizens committees that got together on a weekly basis that were working towards structuring and supporting this project. We had counselors both here in Mississippi County and down in Little Rock, the law firm of Steele, Wright and Collier, our bond counsel of the Friday firm in Little Rock, our bond underwriters, Stevens Investments, and we have one of their representatives here with us today, Michael McBride, drove all the way from Little Rock just for this ceremony today, and they've been innately involved in this project. I think the beginning of the project can go back to when Judge Nelson was a justice of the peace with some of us, and Judge Steve McGuire at that time recognized the dire straits or the direction that our courthouses were taking in both Blytheville and Osceola. They were nearing 100 years old already, and not total disrepair, but moving that direction. And he saw the need for something to be done, some plan for the future. And in that direction, he formed a new quorum court committee that he named the Efficiency Committee. And he asked me to be chairman of that committee. And I think one of the reasons that he did that was probably because I'm from Manila. I'm not from Blytheville. I'm not from Osceola. I try to work for the entire county while representing my particular district, but I wasn't particularly prejudiced towards either direction and didn't want to be perceived that way. So the Efficiency Committee began the project, or began the work of what to do with the county courthouses and how to shore them up for the future. We met with all the elected officials who have been so directly involved in this, the clerk, the treasurer, the circuit clerk, the assessor, everybody, the sheriff, everybody's been involved in this project. But that at least started our process to see what needs that the county had and where would we need to go for the future. Judge Randy Carney came into office and continued with the Efficiency Committee, but he took it another step further. Part of the process, and believe me folks, you all know, this was a process, this wasn't an overnight decision, but one of the most significant steps that Judge Randy Carney took was when he purchased 7.5 acres of ground out here at the I-55 exit, the Blytheville exit, just to allow the county the possibility of considering a new courthouse. You know, we didn't go there, and I think that we ended up with the best possible decision, but what that did, the most significant thing that did, was it showed the county, it was a statement to the rest of the county that we are serious and we're going to make a move and we need to get involved and we need to be making decisions. We're going some direction. We enacted the firm of Revival Architects, Aaron Ruby. God, I love Aaron Ruby. He has done so much for Mississippi County to not be from here. You'd think he was a native resident, but he has been so instrumental in this project. But we hired Aaron to do a project study. What would it do, or what would it take to build a new courthouse? And he came up with a really nice courthouse. It ended up being, that project study was 56,000 square feet, had 4 big courtrooms. It was everything anybody could possibly want. But it didn't involve renovation. It seemed a little overbearing to some people, a little underbearing to other people, but it started the compromise, the process of working together. It brought Osceola together with Blytheville to where we could start working together. So I think just buying the ground out there was a very significant step in keeping the process rolling and keeping the ball moving. If there were, and there probably are, there's around 25,000 adults in Mississippi County today, and looking at what we needed to do with these courthouses, out of 25,000 adults, we probably had 25,000 different ideas. Couldn't get them all together, couldn't afford them all. They ranged from building brand new, to renovating to old, to just simply patch and paint. Everybody had their thought of how it should be done and what should be done and how much it cost. But most significantly, it was the talks that got everything started. The committee meetings, the lawsuits, the process brought about cooperation, compromise between the North and the South. I think it was a melding of the county. It seems like we've been divided for so long, and I know Judge Nelson is committed to the bringing the county together. Judge Terry Brassfield was innately involved in hiring Aaron and working together. Once we realized that maybe new wasn't the way to go, let's look at other options, and Judge Terry worked with Aaron Ruby in developing a renovation project study. What would be involved in that, and how much would it cost, and how do we mesh the needs of Blytheville with the thought process of Osceola and the north and the south and the west side of the county that I'm from. So we started with Judge McGuire. We went through Judge Randy Carney, continuing the process, Judge Terry Brassfield, and bringing the process to a renovation state. Aaron Ruby working as our architect through every step of the project study. Then when we finally got to where we were kind of looking at something concrete, how in the world are we going to pay for it? People, let me tell you, the Mississippi County Hospital Board is underrated and underappreciated. Those guys and ladies work for nothing, and they have kept the hospitals open, and they've done it selflessly, tirelessly, and through great effort. And the hospitals are in, I can't say great shape, because no rural hospitals are in great shape, but Mississippi County hospitals are in good shape because of the leadership of the Mississippi County Hospital Board. The quorum court went to them, spoke with them, talked about the concept of their possibly sharing their half-cent sales tax with us. That is what would bring the vote to the people and let the people have their true voice. The hospital board was willing, cooperative, open, worked with us, negotiated with us, to the end result of the vote that you saw last March, or last February. We were hoping to get 60% approval, and as Judge Nelson pointed out, 72% approval on the bond issue. That's just almost unheard of. That says what the will of Mississippi County is. They want renovation. They want something to last for the future. And people, that's what we're fixing to have. This is going to be the most beautiful project, I think, that the state of Arkansas will see in the way of county courthouses. And a lot of nice county courthouses in the state of Arkansas, but we're going to be the shining example. Judicial District 2 is moving to 12 judges this year. We have a number of those judges that are here today, along with some of the candidates. We have 5 elections up for our judicial judges coming up March the 3rd. I encourage you to meet these judges and the candidates that are here today. They'll be the ones that will be utilizing this building. We see our prosecuting attorney's office here. We see our public defenders here today. All of you people will be directly involved in this, and we appreciate the input that all of you have had in this project. The end result of these steps, meetings, and arguments was the positive vote. It's taken a lot to get us here. It's taken all the people of Mississippi County to make this happen. Both Judge Nelson and I have probably, I know, each of us have made over 30 community presentations in presenting this project to the people for votes. And it was that open reception to the presentations that he and I presented that have brought this to the place that it is today. It's been my pleasure to serve. It's going to be my excitement to see this come to completion. I'm so tickled to see all of you that came in today, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. White. Aaron, we mentioned your name so many times today, and I know I didn't give you any forewarning, but would you mind coming up and just say a few words?
Sure. Excuse me.
This is our lead architect, Aaron Ruby, and his wife,
Mrs. Ruby.
Judge, thank you. Justice White, thank you. Judge Brassfield, thank you. Janice, Rick, there's just so many people to thank.
Yeah.
We'd just like to let you all know, how well you guys, I think, are really led by the hard work and the dedication of your public officials, the people that have been working in this building for a long time, have been putting up with a lot of, just falling plaster and wiring that isn't the best, and they've been making do and getting by. And, I just want to praise Judge Nelson for having the leadership, as well as others, obviously Justice White, and just knowing that isn't acceptable, and this is a room that deserves more dignity. So we're honored to be a part of that, to bring some more dignity to the courtroom here. Get a good look at what you see. It won't look like this, a year and a half from now, repairing the plaster work. Judge Nelson has mentioned Evergreen's, a very, very well-respected decorative painting company in New York. that has a special talent when it comes to really decorating premier spaces, such as this one's one of the most important, if not the most important space in Mississippi County. So we just appreciate everybody here. Do me a favor, I have a favor to ask. When you walk into the new building, make sure you say, wow. Because I've been told if that doesn't happen, I've failed. So anyway, it's just been an honor for us to be working on this project. We just appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Thank you for having for your work on here, and Ron, to you too. I thank my parents for being here today with us. Would anyone, the JPs like to say anything?
Judge Nelson, let's recognize CNI Construction Network.
Oh, absolutely. CNI is here. And I know this is our superintendent, Rick, and Hayden, which is project manager. Pardon me? Oh, you're the boss. Jeremy Austin. Oh, Jeremy. Jeremy is from here. Jeremy is Courtney's brother. Where's Courtney? Courtney's brother. The Austin family. From Goslin. Coach and principal, is that right? So we're glad to have y'all here. Is there anybody else here from CNI? We're really excited about that. We signed the contracts this morning, amongst other things, so it's been a really, really big day. We've got a number of circuit judges. This is y'all's room. Is there a circuit judge that would like to say anything? Prosecuting attorney? We're all in this together. Would anybody like to say anything else? John Logan, president of the hospital board, who's worked with us. Would you like to come and say something? Yeah. All right.
Hey, Judge?
Yes.
We promise not to use any of the tape.
Well, that's why that I'm not in the construction business. That wouldn't be good. I think they've all fell off. But there it goes again. David, you did that. I'll put them back on the tables. You're welcome to come through and look at all the drawings, and then you're welcome to go through the building maybe one last time, because the way I understand it, CNI is fixing to go to work like right now. So if you want one more time to come up through here and go back in the back, maybe places you hadn't been, or up in the balcony, or into some of those other rooms downstairs. If you go in to the treasurer's office into Peggy's, there's what I call the secret room in there. And she's got a closet that goes back, way back in, and we don't know for what reason, but it even has a dirt floor toward the outside wall. So some kind of mysteries about this building that I don't guess we'll ever know, because some of it just doesn't make sense. But a whole lot of things have happened in the last 100 years. Am I missing anything that I need to say?
We can do a photograph downstairs. We got the golden shovel.
Oh yes, we are going to find some loose dirt down there that we excavated from the foundation, and we're going to be able to find some dirt there.
Big picture.
And with this huge project, and I haven't asked Bishop Jones, but I don't think we can pray too much. I wonder if we could end this. Do you mind leaving us with a prayer?
You are standing. Gracious Father, Lord, we thank you for this renovation of this courthouse. Lord, we thank you for our county judge, our mayor, and all of the ones that played part to make this happen. And Lord, through this 100 years, Lord cares many more years. And Lord, we're looking for a blessing from you, from on high. And these blessings we ask in your Son, Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.